Hi Mariana, nice to see you've sent us these essays. Here's what you wrote. The pie chart illustrates the popularity of 7 different school subjects in Germany in the year of 2017. Wait. I just want to make sure. Okay. The subjects represented in the chart are history, IT, biology, physics, maths. Okay. Overall, the 2 most preferred subjects were PE and history, the former with just half a percentage point of advantage on the latter. Whereas PE and history were the favorites of a significant number of students, together representing approximately half of them at 22.9 and 22.5 respectively, maths and physics were not far behind on the ranking. These 2 subjects represented nearly a fifth of the students each, roughly 20%. The other 3 subjects, however, showed much smaller numbers. While biology and geography stood close to one another at roundly 7 and 6% respectively. This is odd. We don't say roundly. We say at approximately or nearly or something like that. IT was preferred by only 3.7% of the students, being the least popular subject portrayed in the chart. Okay. Here's the good news. The good news is that your grammar was good. You had an okay overview, although I really would prefer if you didn't use any data in your description. It's an overview, and so it really should just give a broad trend and not so much any data. On the whole, it's fine. What I didn't really like in this description was the fact that there wasn't really any comparison. Now, this is the kind of chart that is surprisingly difficult to do, because all you have is these 7 pieces of information. Then you say to yourself, okay, well, how can I stretch this out? How can I make comparisons? How can I make this meaningful and not make it sound like I'm just going down the list like, okay, this was first, this was second, this was third. So there are a handful of ways to do it. I like the way you divided your answers with the top 4 and then the 3 lowest. But I think you had an opportunity to make other comparisons besides what you did. So what do I mean? I mean that if you look at some of these figures, you can see that they're somehow, I don't want to say related, but look, you could have said that when you get all the way down to IT and to, where is it? I guess biology, for example. But when you get to IT, you could say something like IT, which was the least popular subject. It was 7 times less than the most popular subject. Or you could have made other things, comparisons. You could have said that, like, therefore, the lowest percentage in the chart was like 20 percentage points less than the most popular subject. So it's nice if you can make certain comparisons like that, okay? So not just giving me the numbers like, okay, this is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, etc., but actually comparing the figures among themselves, okay? So that's what I would have liked here. That's something you could have done to really stretch out the answer. Now, you hit the word minimum, and that's fine, but there's still more that you can say, and that adding those kinds of comments to your answer really make it seem more developed and a little richer. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's see what you wrote here about the online translation apps. Okay, fine. I'm just reading what you wrote. I like that you included your notes. So this is what you were thinking about before you wrote. I'm glad that you did that. Let's see what you actually said. Since online language translation apps began to trend and became a part of today's modern setting, their positive and negative aspects have been discussed. While some believe the disadvantages brought by the apps disqualify them as an overall good development, I strongly disagree. This essay will present arguments and provide examples that justify this point of view. Okay, fine. On the one hand, translations provided by these apps can be a setback on the path towards clear communication between people with different native languages. The reason behind this is twofold. First, it should not be, that's not the right word, not overseen. It should not be neglected neglected, maybe. It should not be ignored that these translations are not always accurate, as a full comprehension of a word or sentence frequently requires context. Ooh, what a nice sentence. Secondly, recent studies by Oxford University show that the practice of translating hinders the process of learning. I don't like the, all right, that's fine. The practice hinders the process of learning a new language, given the fact that it does not induce the brain to actually absorb the new information. Therefore, it's conclusively clear that the use of translation apps has its downsides, especially if the user has the acquirement, it's not the acquirement, it's the acquisition of language skills as a goal. Language, singular. But that's a nice, it's a nice thought, but this needs to be acquisition. On the other hand, being able to carry a translation service on your phone or notebook is not a development that can be taken for granted. This is largely because today's world is widely globalized, and this implies a lot of contact with people from different language backgrounds. Both business and leisure trips to foreign countries are becoming more and more common, and online translation apps are very efficient for those situations, given, not giving, but given, EN, their speed. For example, an empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 80% of the British citizens over the age of 40 only feel comfortable traveling abroad with a portable language translation service. Thus, it is conclusively clear that these language apps have a considerable value to society and present numerous benefits. From the arguments examples given, I firmly believe that the positive aspects of online translation apps outweigh their negative ones. Their use might not be recommended in all cases. However, it is predicted that their importance will only grow as the world becomes more integrated. This is lovely. This is so nice. It's well developed. You have these really nice ideas. You had some nice pieces of vocabulary. I actually enjoyed your essay considerably. So this is well done. There are a couple little areas that were a little awkward, a couple little mistakes here and there, but nothing really serious, nothing that presents any sort of major problem. I enjoyed this really quite a bit. Okay? Good job. What else do I want to tell you about this? Let's see. Not much. I thought you did a very nice job, okay? So just make those little corrections that I already noted. And I'm really looking forward to seeing your next essays. You're definitely on the right track here, okay? Good job.